So what I want to do for you is create a little video to show you step by step how you can create the classroom economy using Google Sheets. So to start with, I want to show you what the end product looks like, and then I will walk you through the different steps. On the left-hand side, we have the class ledger right here, and you'll notice the date, the transactions that can be written down, deposits, and the withdrawals, and then over here a running balance. So this is the document that the banker in your class would have. Over here is what the student would see. So in this case, George Green would get to see what his bank account statement is like, and he'll always have access to this, provided he can use his laptop or phone or whatever. So the way it would work is the banker on this side would type in date of the transaction, perhaps it's a salary, and then maybe $50. And you'll notice that it's getting updated in real time over here. So this is what the student would see, who is receiving the salary, $50, George. And then this is what the banker would input. This is what we're going to be creating. And down at the bottom, we have different students in the class. And for example, here's Johnny Appleseed. So Johnny Appleseed's, maybe Johnny Appleseed has a slightly different salary than George Green does. So let me open up Johnny Appleseed's file on this side. And I'm going to type in salary again for Johnny Appleseed. And perhaps Johnny Appleseed's salary is $55. Okay. And you'll see it being updated right here on this side. Okay. Sometimes it may take a minute or two for all the transactions to update, but there you go. And you can see it right there. So this is what we're going to be setting up today. The first step is to make a copy of the Classroom Economy folder that I've put on the website. And inside that folder, you should see these files right here. I suggest that you make a copy of them, and then you'll be able to rename them as you see fit. So the class ledger is where all of the account information is stored for all of the different students. So what we'll do is we'll open it up right now. Now, at the bottom of the page, you'll notice that there are some tabs down here. Each tab represents one student in the class. So right now we have, in our class of 3, we have George Green, Johnny Appleseed, and Susan Smith. The first one's called First Last, and you should keep that one as First Last. If you wanted to add a new student to your class, you'd right-click it, duplicate it, okay, copy of First Last, and we're going to rename it. And you'll rename it with the first and last name of the student in the class. So for example, I'm going to have Julie July. Let's call it that, okay? So Julie July is a student in the class, and she is set up right now. That's all you need to do in order to set up a new student. The next thing we need to do is we need to set up the individual student Google Slide bank accounts for the students in the class. So you'll notice here again, we have George Green, Johnny Appleseed, and Susan Smith already set up. We just created Julie July, and we need to create her bank account Google Slide as well. So the way you do that is you make a copy of the first last template right here. So I'm going to right click it and do make a copy. Okay. After it makes a copy, you're going to rename it. Okay. And you're going to rename it according to the name of the student using the first and last name. Any naming system will work, but that's just the one that I chose. Great, so now Julie July is created. The next step is to open up her file. I'm going to do that right now. Once you've opened up that new student's bank account Google Slide, you'll notice in the A1 cell, it will say #ref exclamation mark. And you'll notice that there is a formula at the top here. Now this is the only slightly technical bit where we have to use some coding, I guess, in order to make it work, but it's not very difficult to figure out. So What we need to do is we need to replace this link right here. This link right here in between the two quotation marks is the link to the class ledger site. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our class ledger and we're going to copy that link to that Google slide. The way you make a copy is you go back to the class ledger, okay, and then you click on the share button, and then you get copy link. So anyone with the link can view. So we're going to copy that link, click done, and we're going to paste it back into that the A1 cell of Julie July's bank account slide. So you just carefully select all that's, highlight all that's in between those two quotation marks, and then you click paste. Okay, so see how it's updated. Now on the right side here, you'll notice it says first and last. What you need to do here is you need to put down the name of the student that this Google slide will point to. It's the tabs at the bottom of the class ledger site. So in this case, it's going to be for Julie July. Okay, click enter. And once you've done that, her account should open up right here. So now we've created Julie July's bank account Google slide right here. And on this side over here, we've already got the class ledger. And then down here, you can see Julie July's tab. So just like I did at the beginning of the video, now we should be able to see Julie July's bank account slide update in real time. So type in March 1st, 2019, type in the transaction. So maybe we'll do the salary again, put in the deposit, maybe let's call it $60, and we should see it updating. Okay, and there you have it. And that is the Google Classroom Economy using Google Sheets. You just repeat that for all the students in your class, and it should all be set up and ready to go. A couple more things I want to share with you, and they are when you make a mistake and also how to share with your students in the first place. So let's move to what happens if you make a mistake. If, for example, your banker or yourself makes a mistake, let's for example, we'll delete that, and then we'll maybe delete that, just some kind of mistake like that, doesn't really matter. We don't need to worry because in this way, the Google Class ledger is a little bit like a blockchain where all mistakes are recorded, and at least the banker and the teacher can view what those changes were. So if you want to fix your mistake, you click on all changes saved in Google. And on the right-hand side, you'll see all the changes that were made. And you might have to expand to get a detailed version. And you have the time of all the different changes right here. So we're not going too far back in time. We're just going to go to probably it's this edit right here. Once this finishes loading up, we'll be able to see it. Oh. Okay, so this is the current version, and it's got the highlighted changes. So if I just go back one to this one, I can see this is the one that I want right here. So I click up here to restore this version, and I can restore it, and then we're good to go back to our original class ledger, and we can continue to make changes after that. The final step in this process is to share the files with the relevant parties. So go back to the Google Drive folder, and you'll notice the names of the students, which now the class, which now has 4 students: George, Johnny, Julie, and Susan. And we need to make sure that they get shared. The class ledger will get shared with whoever your banker is, whether it's yourself or whether it's a student in your class. I prefer using a student in the class. Just click share. Now, the banker needs to have editing privileges. So the way you do that is just make sure that the pen symbol is selected. So here we have can edit, can comment, and can view. For the class ledger, we want this to be shared with the banker, whoever's organizing the class ledger. So you type in the email address of that student and click done. For each of these individual files, we need to share them individually with the relevant students. So here we have George Green. We need to share it with George Green. So I type in George Green's email address right here, but I want to make sure that it's only view privileges so that George Green will be able to open that link and George Green alone, but he won't be able to make any changes. Okay, you repeat that for all of the different students in your class, and there you go, it's set up. So the first time you do it might take a few minutes to set it up, but once it's set up, the banker can let it run, and then you can think about how you want to celebrate or how you want to reward students. There's more details on my website. You can also go to many resources online for the types of jobs or the types of salaries and things like that that you can include in your classroom economy. But this video was to just give you a base to show you how you can do it and how you can do it digitally and keep it live and secure and more representative of, I guess, the 21st century. Thank you.